Russian bank VTB is in the final stages of a protracted $3.3 billion capital raising share sale. Sovereign investors from Qatar, Azerbaijan and Norway are among those buying in. Here to discuss this is VTB's CEO and chairman, Andrey Kostin. Mr. Kostin, thank you for joining us. Well, these three countries are participating in this sale. Reports suggest Qatar will put up $1 billion and the other two $500 million each. Is this accurate?
Not very, and I would like to say that we haven't completed the transaction yet. We expect it to be done by the end of the week, so allocations hasn't been done, so it's a little bit too early now to speak about this. But I think that all funds will be more or less similar in their packages, rather than somebody will be leading the show. So it's quite rare, by the way, that three sovereign funds participated in one transaction. But in this case, that's exactly what we have now.
That's interesting. We're talking about three in particular. Are there any others that you are talking to?
No, we expect there may be some. Yes, we expect there's some other what we call anchor investors, but not sovereign funds.
Not sovereign funds.
No.
What about Russian oligarchs, wealthy Russian investors? Are they interested in taking part as well?
Yes, very much so. But as I said, we basically wanted to find the long-term investors who have there'll be some lockup for the certain bit of time. On the other hand, the government also claimed that the government is not planning to issue any new shares or sell existing shares for the next 12 months. So we expect that there will be long-term minded investors, and of course sovereign funds are among them.
Okay. You've said you want to use some of this cash to beef up your presence in the domestic market, especially in the retail banking side. What specific targets and timeframes do you have in mind?
Well, you see, we need capital for two reasons. One is Russia is introducing Basel III. The central bank wants it this year, but if not this year, we shall see what situation with Basel III in Europe and in America. It might be postponed till 2014, depending on other participants. But Basel III will require additional capital for all banks. And on the other hand, Russian banking sector still developing quite healthy. We expect that this year our loan book will grow between 15 to 20%. So for both these reasons, I mean, banks do need new capital, and that's exactly what we are doing now.
Could you give us an estimate on the split? 50% to raise capital, to beef up capital, and 50% for expansion plans, or is that?
No, I think probably for expansion plan a little bit even more, but we shall see. We still do not know the exact final fine print of the central bank introducing Basel III. For example, if the central bank introduces Basel III in the model they are planning now, that means that Russian banks will require 25% more capital than banks in Germany, Britain, or in America, which bank is not very happy. So we're still in dispute with the central bank on this.
Okay, you posted 90.6 billion rubles in profit in 2012. You said that this year will be another record year, I believe. Can you be more specific?
Well, we expect that the profit will be above 100 billion, of course, but we expect quite a healthy growth of profit. It still has to be seen, of course, how much exactly.
Okay, I want to turn to the SocGen Rosbank scandal. I know you don't want to talk about it specifically, but what does the arrest of the Rosbank CEO do to the image of the banking system in your country?
Well, it's too early maybe to say, because at the moment the person is not convicted. There is no decision of court or judges. So from this point of view, as any other country, the person should be considered as innocent. I know that the leadership of Société Générale, I spoke to them as we are shareholder of Rosbank. We have about 10% stake. Of course, concerned about the situation and about the image. I think Société Générale is the bank with a very high reputation, and I don't think that even if it's proved that one person, even a senior guy, made some wrongdoings, I don't think that will affect the business of Société Générale in general in Russia.
And you don't think this kind of thing would deter international foreign investors from investing in Russia?
Not at all, not at all. I mean, personally, I have to say that though they're my competitors, I felt sorry that some of the banks, including Barclays, withdrew from Russia. But maybe they entered in the wrong time and the wrong way. But we very much welcome that such an institution as Société Générale played quite an important role in the Russian banking sector. So we will see. We'll definitely be supportive as a shareholder for Rosbank to continue its activity.
As you say, you're a shareholder in Rosbank, and if SocGen were to sell its stake in Rosbank, would you be interested in buying it?
Well, at the moment, we are more on the sale side than buying.
Okay. I want to turn to Cyprus. Let's finish up with Cyprus. Russia is renegotiating its terms, of course, of its $2.5 billion loan to the country. Can you give us an update on these developments and how VTB has taken part in these talks?
Well, I think Mr. Putin, President Putin, while he was in Germany, made quite clear that Russia would be ready to negotiate. And I think now the Ministry of Finance of Russia in the process with the Cypriot side to negotiate. I think we will do it. Of course, the general situation in Cyprus led us to some questions. For example, Russian government was not informed about the steps which European Union was taking, and of course that goes against the spirit of G20 agreement, for example. Particularly as Russia was quite a large lender to the government. But at the moment, the Cyprus government took decision, and the president, the activity of Russian banks restored. Mm-hmm. We were not affected because we shouldn't. We didn't have any bad assets. We had enough liquidity. We never borrowed a single euro from European Central Bank. So now our activity mostly restored for all international clients, and there's no reason why the government can negotiate now the fine print.
Are you satisfied with the reassurances that you've been given, and will you continue to invest in Cyprus?
Well, we were not. We had mainly the activity for Russian or international clients in Cyprus, and we found it's quite convenient because of the legislation there, because of good banking service, and so on and so forth. Of course, for us it was the first blow, which happened in March, mm-hmm. when it was absolutely, I think, ridiculous proposals to haircut all deposit holders in all banks, no matter in which condition the bank is. I think was completely against the rule, any market rules, But now when the situation was settled in some way, in the way that there was a bail-in only of deposit holders of the ailing or bad banks, that at least have some market logic behind this. Mm-hmm. And I've just heard from the press this morning in London that there's a suggestion that in other countries the same principle might apply, which is a possibility. I mean, that is something which European Union should decide themselves, how they're going to treat the ailing banks in EU countries.
Okay, Mr. Kostin, thank you very much for your time. That was Andrey Kostin, Chairman and Chief Executive of VTB. I'm Jamie McGeever. This is Reuters.